Hello everyone, my name is Iram Batul and I'm an English language instructor from mytutorpod.com. Today we will be having some interesting discussion on the grammatical concepts in English language. The grammatical concepts that we are going to discuss in today's session are parts of speech or the word categories in English language. If we talk about parts of speech English in English language, we have different parts of speech. Basically, this term part of speech is used in traditional grammar for one of the nine main categories to which these particular words are classified according to their function in sentences. These are basically the building blocks of the grammar in English language. So every sentence that we write or speak in English language, it belongs to any of the parts of speech. The nine parts of speech in English language are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, interjections. Now, if we talk about modern grammar uses the term classes to categorize these words. The parts of speech are basically divided into, or they're commonly divided into two main categories of the classes, which are open class categories of words and closed class categories of words. Now, the words that belong to the open class category of words are nouns, pronouns, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And the words that belong to the closed class category of the words are pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, and determiners. Now let's have some discussion on the open class category of words. The words which belong to this category are finite, since new words can be added to this particular category. They can be borrowed and they can be created. They can be added into the existing list of the word categories. The words which belong to this category are basically the content words, which have some kind of independent meanings. The words which belong to these categories are mutually inclusive. That means the words which belong to these categories can be replaced with each other's. They can be replaced by other words which have the similar meanings. So now we will have some discussion on closed class category of words. The words in this category are finite. They are fixed in number and new words cannot be added into this category. The words which belong to this category are basically function words. They have some specific grammatical function to perform within sentences. These words are mutually exclusive as they cannot be replaced by other words within this category. Every word has a specific grammatical function to perform within these sentences. The words which belong to these open class categories are nouns, verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. And the words which belong to the closed class category of words are pronouns, prepositions, articles, conjunctions, and determiners. Now let's have some discussion on nouns. Noun is a word that is used to represent or name a person, place, thing, or an idea. Let's discuss some examples related to nouns. Sarah is eating an apple. In this particular sentence, Sarah is a noun. Apple is a noun. David plays baseball for his country. In this sentence, David is a noun. Baseball is a noun. Country is a noun. Silence is true wisdom. In this particular sentence, silence is noun and wisdom is also a noun. Now, if we look into the words like Sarah, apple, David, baseball, country, silence, wisdom, all these words are noun. They are used to represent persons, places, things, and ideas. Let's have some discussion on pronouns. Pronouns are the words that are used in place of nouns in the sentences. They are more generic versions of nouns as they refer to people and things. Examples of pronouns are I, we, you, they, he, she, it, who, which, anybody, ourselves, and many more. Another parts of speech that we are going to discuss are verbs. Verbs are the words which indicate what a subject is, does, has, or done to it. These are the words that tell what happens in the sentence. They can also show the subject's state of being. Verbs change different forms based on the tenses and count distinction, whether the subject is a singular or a plural, and the time of action. Examples related to verbs are sing, dance, believes, seemed, finish, eat, drink, and became. Another parts of speech that we're going to discuss now are adjectives. Adjectives are the words which describe nouns and pronouns. Adjectives allow readers and listeners to use their senses and imaginations to explain and elaborate any particular noun or a pronoun. This gives a clear idea about the noun or the pronoun. Examples like intelligent, lazy, funny, different, bright, beautiful, rich, soft. These are all adjectives that can be used in sentences in order to describe the noun or the pronoun. Another part of speech that we're going to discuss are adverbs. Adverbs are basically the words which add meaning to verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They specify when, where, how, why, and to what extent or how often something happened. Examples like softly, fast, often, twice, skillfully, in the ground, yesterday are all examples of adverbs. Another part of speech that we are going to discuss is related to prepositions. Prepositions are the words that are used before a noun phrase, or any other pronoun. They show some kind of a relationship of a noun or a pronoun in terms of the distance, time, or role with other words in the sentence. They come at the start of any prepositional phrase which contains a preposition or its object. Examples like up, over, against, on, in, under, close, out of, apart from. These are all examples of prepositions. Conjunctions is another part of speech. They basically join words, phrases, and clauses in a sentence. They are coordinating, subordinating, and correlative conjunctions that are used in sentences. Examples like and, but, or, so, yet, however, because, although, as soon as, even if are all examples of conjunctions. Let's talk about articles and determiners. Articles and determiners function like adjectives by modifying nouns, but they're different than adjectives in that they are necessary for a sentence to have a proper syntax. Articles and determiners specify and identify nouns as they are indefinite and definite articles that are used in sentences. Examples of articles are an, a, and the. Determiners are like these, those, that, much, few, which, what. All these are examples of determiners. Let's talk about another part of speech, which is interjections. Interjections are basically the expressions that are used to show some kind of emotions and reactions related to any particular situation, event happening. These are the expressions that can stand on their own, or they can also be used within sentences. Examples like, alas, we lost the match. Bravo, you did a great job. Ouch, I'm having pain in my knee. Hurrah, we won the match. So these are all examples of interjections because they express the emotions and feelings of the subject. This was end for today. I hope you have understood some of the grammatical concepts related to the parts of speech and word categories in English language. We will come with another interesting and exciting video related to grammatical concepts of English language in coming days. Stay tuned and wait for the next video. Thank you.